And good evening, guys and girls, YouTube community. It's your boy, Lex Anderson. But we're not in the situation corner tonight, but you have entered the Sports Opinion Log, which is currently on the road, and we are out here. I say, because me and Desi Robin 23 are out here in Fort Lauderdale over at the B Ocean Resort. And this video, like all videos, is sponsored by my hair company at celebrityhaircore.com. Ladies, guys, if your lady needs better bundles, check us out, celebrityhaircore.com. But first and foremost, go to Celebrity Haircore on the gram for our promo code so you can save more on our grade 10A virgin human hair bundles, free DHL Express shipping, and best of all, you pay no tax. And taxes, right? Because there's a price to pay for everything. So I have to come forth with my predictions so far as a lot of the games, NBA playoffs, first round. What do we have so far? Okay, I had predicted that the Raptors would beat the Wizards in 6. They currently have a 2-0 lead on them. But like I've said before, Bradley Beal, John Wall, they just can't seem to get the job done. And the Raptors currently have a 2-0 lead for the first time ever in the history of the franchise. Celtics versus Bucks. I said that the young Bucks would make some noise, but it is the Celtics who are up 2-0. Jaylen Brown last night dropping 30 points. And, like I've said before, Greek Freak, the MVP, remember 2 weeks into the NBA season? That guy is a dud. He is useless, he is worthless, and he is annoying. Like, I'm watching the game, I'm watching them play, and there's no cohesiveness whatsoever. The Bucks will truly regret firing Jay Kidd the way they did, which again, I, the prophet, did predict that the Bucks would fall flat on their face. And even though they're in the playoffs, right now the way the young Celtics, the undermanned Celtics are handling this team, it makes you really wonder. Okay, Sixers versus the Heat. The series is tied at 1 apiece. I don't know what's going on. I saw some of the second game. I'm expecting way more from Ben Simmons and his teammates than what I'm getting. Like, to me, they should be on the verge of sweeping the Miami Heat, who's playing with what? Hassan Whiteside and overage, should be ready to retire D Wade. I just don't get it. Cavs versus Pacers, of course. The game is on right now. We're currently at halftime. The Pacers have a 1-0 lead, and they dominated the Cavs from start to finish. They never led, and everybody wants to ring the alarm, Oh, LeBron's in trouble. I know a lot of you guys and girls might not notice, but there was a time many years ago in the early 90s that the NBA first round used to be a best of 5, which means you only needed to win 3 games to advance. And there were a lot of teams that were able to shock the world and rattle the playoffs by being a 1 seed, beating an 8 seed, like the Knicks with Miami, I believe in 1999, when they went to the finals and lost to the Spurs. Or even the most recent one to memory is when OKC just came on the rise. If those of you do or don't know, Durant and Westbrook and Harden played on the same team, and they actually took the Lakers to a 5th game, and the Lakers were able to win. Folks, now that the NBA has sold its soul to rake in more corporate sponsor cash by making the first round a best of 7 instead of a best of 5, let's stop with the 1-0, 2-0 dramatics. It's a best of 7. And until you hear the words X, Y, and Z team has been officially eliminated, it's still up for grabs. And speaking of up for grabs, let's check out the Western Conference. Rockets lead the Timberwolves. There's really nothing much to say about that. Derrick Rose was dropping some buckets, but the T-Wolves pretty much fell apart in the closing seconds. Not surprised. Karl Anthony Towns, he continues to play at the top of the key or pop 3-pointers. It's a shame the death of the big man. And I mean the death of the big man in terms of his role on the NBA court, which used to be bang in the paint, grab rebounds, block shots. Why do I need Karl Anthony Towns hovering between the top of the key and the three-point line. I need him in the paint, securing some offensive rebounds so you could get second shot attempts, which isn't happening in today's game because the big men, like Anthony Davis, but I'll get to him in a minute, want to play around the perimeter, top of the key, behind the arc. You know, you got to really wonder. Speaking of wonder, there's no point in wondering about the Warriors and Spurs. Golden State is in control. Kevin Durant, Mr. Unreliable, is coming to play because guess what? Even like Coach Pop admitted, there's no one on the Spurs roster who can guard that man. So as long as there's no one there that could guard Kevin Durant with his frame and his height and his ability to control the ball with his crossover moves, and pretty much he's just shooting over the opposition. And speaking of shooting the opposition, Kawhi Leonard is a quitter. The nationwide sport network doesn't want to talk about it because they are taking that Disney cash. But you will hear it here from your boy Lex Anderson in the Sports Opinion Log. I'll talk about what no one wants to talk about, that Kawhi Leonard is a quitter. He has quit on his team. And I want to denounce and strike down any notion of Kawhi Leonard coming to the Lakers, because the Lakers are about championships, proven winners, proven champions, and people that want to come to that culture to win. Kawhi Leonard is not a winner. He is a loser. And he's even worse than a loser. He is a quitter. And there is no way I would want someone who quit on his team the first 10 games into the season, and even though he's been cleared, not cleared, cleared, not cleared, I want no part of the mess that's Kawhi Leonard. But keep him out of LA. Okay, Blazers versus Pelicans. I said Blazers in 6. But a part of me has to, if I could kick myself, I would kick myself just a little bit. Because it's not over till it's over. But what do I say? I say commercialized athletes like the Hardens, the CP0s, All-State babyhead Damian Lillard. Who else that's not around right now? Blake Kia Griffin. These commercial athletes are horrible when it comes to the postseason because they spend so much time acting and directing in these stupid, silly commercials, raking in millions and millions of even more dollars while they lack the focus on the bread and butter. And the bread and butter is the NBA and getting to the playoffs and making noise. And you know what noise I'm hearing? I am hearing the noise of the brick laying, the ball clanging off the rim, the iron from CJ McCollum, from Damian Lillard, and the rest of their supporting band and cast being the Portland Trailblazers. Wow, NBA playoffs, this is what it's about. This is why I stay up to 1, 2 in the morning, because the Pelicans are putting a clinic on the Portland Trailblazers. They've taken home court advantage. The Pelicans lead 2-0. Jrue Holiday, wow. Again, it's one thing to see the highlights. It's one thing to read about the player. But to see him dominate in such fashion, and Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo, I have to mention him last because being LA, still repping LA all day, every day, being a former Celtic, I can't lie, there is an inherent bias that I do not like Rajon Rondo, but he goes out there, he gets the job done. Anthony Davis, wow, the alley-oops, the threes, the dominance in the paint. Jrue Holiday, these guys are just handling their business. So salutes to the Pelicans. I did say Blazers in 6. So yeah, I have to own it. You can't change horses in mid-race. So Lex Anderson is going to keep it where he stays because I haven't stayed up to see any Pelican games. Wow, what a present. Playoff P, PG-13, Paul George, he of the Gatorade Flow Smooth commercials. 8 3-pointers. Woo! They roasted and toasted the Utah Jazz. I did say OKC in 6. So far, so good. They are definitely on the path. Westbrook is doing his thing. But honestly, the key to me, guys and girls, will be the bench. OKC's bench. Luckily when you have a big 3 of Westbrook, Paul George, and Melo, you could have one of those guys on the court to rock with the bench, to hold things down until then all three come on the court and just pretty much dominate. I did see a lot of good play though on the Utah Jazz's side. That guy Gobert, he's a force. Luckily OKC has Steven Adams. And hey, you know, I finally found out where Ricky Rubio is. He's playing with the Utah Jazz. I don't know why I still thought he was with the Timberwolves, but hey, it is what it is. So let's get ready to enjoy the other half of the series because, you know, it's a best of 7. Some teams have 2 games already in the books. Some teams are looking to tie, and there are other teams out there waiting to take a 2-0 lead on the opposition. But you can best believe that your boy, Lex Anderson, Sports Opinion Log, will be here to keep you in the know. And you know what? To stay in the know, your journey does not have to end right here with this video. You can do the right thing, and that's pressing the subscribe button right there on the right-hand side and sharing the videos amongst your friends and family members, checking out the Sports Opinion Log on your smart TV. I heard I look pretty good in HD, and having seen myself on HD, I will agree with what I'm saying. I will give myself my own stamp of approval. And speaking of approval, NHL playoffs, which I'm going to have to make into another video later on, but shout out to the Las Vegas Knights for eliminating the Kings. Didn't see that coming. And how about the Washington Capitals surviving another, well, not surviving another because it's now 2-1, but the Capitals versus the Blue Jackets. How about that series? Ovechkin and the Capitals always falling short, always losing these overtime thrillers, which turn out to be like horror movies because they wind up losing, but they finally struck back. It's a 2-1 series. So is this where Ovechkin and the Capitals come through to eliminate the Colorado Blue Jackets, Columbia Blue Jackets? Oh my God, I gotta get this right. But hey, it's the NHL playoffs. Shout out to the guys that I've talked to about the NHL playoffs. Folks, you'd be surprised how many African American men and men of color are engaged in the NHL playoffs because it's an exciting thing to watch. The skill set, watching the Penguins, watching Crosby deflect pucks into the goalkeeper's nets. I mean, like, if you're not watching the NHL playoffs, I would suggest that you check it out. It's like football on ice, and the padding, the clothes, the garb, the gear, the equipment, like nothing is more thrilling than the NHL playoffs. Especially if you don't watch the NHL during the regular season, now is the perfect time. Speaking from experience, when they bring out the Stanley Cup trophy, it is so pomp and circumstance. It's truly a royal feeling when the guys bring it out with the white gloves, and the players, all the players on the team get to travel with the Stanley Cup. Like, it's amazing the journey that the Stanley Cup itself has even been involved in. And again, journeys, Stanley Cup, Sports Opinion Log, Lex Anderson. Again, subscribe and share. I will catch you guys and girls on the other side. Time to get out and enjoy the nightlife here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm signing out.